Hello, my name is Cassandra Brantley, or Cassie for short. I'm a high school graduate who decided to postpone college to gain real world job experience. I took a web design class in my junior year of high school and I absolutely loved it, which inspired me to pursue more web development training and transition to a career in technology. Then later on, I heard about Savvy Coders from my cousin, and I decided to join the full stack web development bootcamp. As for why I chose the topic for my capstone, excuse me, I'm sorry. I really love reading and I love books, so for my capstone, I decided to build a web application to help me track the books I have read. The problem my application addresses is I am creating a web application that would allow other fellow book lovers, sorry, I had hair in my mouth, fellow book lovers a way to rate books and share a comment on their favorite quote/scene from that book. I am also the, excuse me. The role I served in my agile team was I was a developer. I never got to be a scrum master or product owner, but the agile ceremonies we participated in was daily stand-ups, sprint reviews, sprint retrospectives, sprint planning, and I am also agile certified. So now I will go into my user story map, which let me share my screen real quick. Hold on for 1 second. All right. So here we are. So the name of my web application, which I actually did keep throughout the entire process of building my web application, was Cassandra's BookCorner. I actually did not end up using that particular image. I chose a different one, but that was just a cute little way of putting books there. So what people are doing in my web application is rating books and leaving a comment. And, same thing. They will see rating scale and a field to leave a comment. Demographic details, who is using my application. Aspiring writers who perhaps want to have ideas without plagiarizing. If they get inspired by a book and they want to write, they can use this website if they want. Fellow readers who have the same interest in book genres as myself, and friends and family who have read the same books. Needs and pain points. What needs my application is fulfilling is this can be a way of community among readers/aspiring authors. It can also be a way of seeing if books I've read are worth reading for people who haven't read those books. What pain points my application is eliminating is this can eliminate excuse me. This can eliminate going to a bookstore without knowing what other people think about that book. And this can also eliminate not knowing how good a book is with the rating and the comments. And, rating books and leaving a comment. As for this is my very beginning thoughts of what I wanted to do for my web application. So we had a homepage, which was navigation to books, the tasks they had to do, about me, and the contact, and then the actual books. We have picture of book cover, a little information about the book and what they have to do, and it's the same thing for all of my books for the initial 4 books I chose. Now we will go into my SWOT analysis, which was how I researched other websites that were similar to mine. So the websites I used were Goodreads and Bookish, which are very big, commonly known websites for books. So as for my web application, the strengths I thought were my color palette. I've noticed that a lot of book websites have very bland color schemes. I think they're boring, kind of. I really like color with websites because I think that brings the theme of the book to light. And I also thought the title for my web application was really cute, which I mean, Cassandra's BookCorner, I think that's a really cute idea. I'm not going to go through the entirety of this, but I will bring up like one from each. So, weakness, I thought, on that same token, a weakness could be the lack of a big library of books. Some people might not like that because a lot of other of those big websites for books have a plethora of books. And I haven't read a plethora of books, so I'm clearly lacking with my book ways. Opportunity, I could broaden my genre range, which I have read quite a lot of books in all sorts of genres. So I thought that I could expand my, I guess, book library of books I have read. And threats, one issue could be the fact that it's such a small range of books, because right now I don't have very many, which I do in the future want to add more books onto it, but I didn't, during this boot camp, I did not do that. So let me go into my wireframes. So this was what I initially had put for what I thought I wanted. So like the website up here, the link, the hyperlink, and then the logo of books, a little welcome plus the title, an about me section, the navigation menu here, contact me, and then I thought maybe I could do book previews, like a list of the books. And then for my book page, which all of my book page, my wireframes look the same because I kind of wanted the same layout on each. I'm sorry, I'm sick, so I'm going to be coughing a lot. I apologize in advance. So I had the Twisted Love book cover here, navigation menu up here, a book rating scale, a description of the book, and then the comment section down here. I will also mention the user flowchart, which was they would go to the homepage, then the navigation menu, then each of the books, and then they would rate that book and then comment with their favorite quote or scene. So now it's time for the fun portion where I actually get to present my capstone. So this here is my homepage, and I had a little, welcome to my book corner. Here you'll find books that I've read before. Grab a cup of warm tea and coffee and enjoy your stay. I did put a heart at the bottom as well and a little tea mug, I guess you could call it. So as for the HTML of my homepage, it was really simple. I didn't really do much with it. Just did a header and a little couple of little images that I colored, added color to it. The CSS for my page, I had my primary color as this like maroonish color, and then black. The font family I chose was Indie Flower cursive because I thought it looked more, I guess, like handwriting. And I thought, because initially I'd chosen a different font, and as we reached the end of the boot camp, I didn't like it. So I looked to find a different one because I didn't like how it looked. And I found this one and I was like, oh, I like that. So my about section, still really simple. Not really any in-depth coding or anything. Just a little about me and just some fun facts. I mentioned that I enjoy music because anytime I was coding by myself, I had to listen to music because I think it helps me focus. And I mentioned some type of music genres I listen to, and some of my hobbies, which is reading, gaming, jamming out to music, and even sometimes I will write my own stories. Which the HTML for that, once again, was not super in-depth or anything. Just some paragraphs and then an unordered list. I did have to, when I was making this page, because I kind of wanted everything in the center because I thought it looked better than everything being left aligned. So you can see here, these two right here with the about section, I had to first align that div to the center, so all my information in there would be in the center. And then I had to target my unordered list, so my unordered list would be to the left, because initially, when I had tried to put all of this in the center, it left the dots all the way to the left and moved all the text to the right, or the center, I mean. And I didn't like how that looked, so I did that inline block and moved it to the left, so they all stayed in line with each other. I also have a contact page, which has a couple of links to my Facebook and my Snapchat. And I also have a form if you would prefer to use a form to get in contact with me. It's connected to FormSpree, which sends an email to my Gmail account, and I'll see what you sent me, and if you'd like to get in contact that way, if you don't want to use my Facebook or my Snapchat. The the HTML for that still wasn't in depth or anything. Just got my links and then my form spree and a really simple form that you can just use and submit if you'd like. Now we get to the fun part, which was like one of my favorite things to build out, which are my book pages. So I actually didn't end up adding a rating scale that people who use my web application can use, because I thought that towards the end, I was like, well, this is kind of a website to bring people together. I kind of want it to be like, kind of like a little community. So I don't really want like a rating, because if people have bad ratings, I don't want them to leave those bad ratings. I kind of want this to be a website that can bring people together. So I put a personal rating scale, what I thought about the book. I put the description of the book, which is on the back of the book, and I added a little icon that I thought fit the book, like the theme of the book. And this form here is actually connected to both back end and front end, which I could go a little bit in depth of how I made that. So here we have my comments, which is how I set up what it accepted. And the books I added, which as I add more books and read more books, I'll have to add more to this so it can accept those forms. And this was my router, which set up, this was for insomnia and Mongo, which was a way of testing with insomnia if the forms actually did what they were supposed to. So it would be like, if I could delete comments by the ID, I could add comments, update, get all of the comments, stuff like that. That set up my back end. And this was also setting up back end and how it would work, and what it would connect to. As for actually setting up my front end, this was probably the most difficult thing I had to deal with. I really struggled with it. I think I worked on it for probably at least 2 days straight. But I did eventually get it figured out, and it's probably my most proud moment. But I had to do a lot on this. I had to add every single view that had a form on it that I wanted to post forms, like the answers, what people post. So as you see here, I would pull from render.com comments, and it would navigate to my comment section. And I will show that off right now. So you can just put your name in, you select the book you're on, and blah, blah, blah. You'll go down here, submit Twisted Love comment. Might take a second to load. As you can see, I have tried quite a few different ones. But you can see it works, and it works for all of my pages, except for the books I haven't finished yet. So it works for up to King of Wrath. And you can go on all of these pages and post a comment and things like that. I did also have another little struggle, which, let me think. It was with my actual pages aligning this. So let me go into my CSS and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So down here, where is it? So we have boxes twisted, and then we have boxes twisted too. So let me go into my Twisted Love HTML. So here we have this div, which connects my image and my form. And then this one here, which is my rating and description. So in my CSS, I had to use grid and template columns so I could align them, because before it looked really bad, like really bad. So I did this so these were next to each other, and then this was below, and then my description was over here. I am hoping in the future to make this a little bit cleaner and maybe have this book smaller, because it is taking up quite a bit of the page. If I could possibly align the book with the bottom of the form, I think that would look pretty good. I could also show you, because really through my Twisted and King of Wrath books, or King of Sin books, it's really the same setup. But I could show you my actual pages and how everything looks. And I did different little icons and stars for each page. I also tried to match the color to the book, or what I thought fit the book. And it's the same thing with all of these pages. The form works. And I did red for this one, a little fire emblem, and Twisted Lies. I did green and a little butterfly. I could talk, I guess, about why I chose those images. So I did the sun because the character Alex calls Ava Sunshine. So I did the sun. As for Twisted Games, Bridget is a princess and Reese is a bodyguard. Twisted Hate, I couldn't really find a good one that would fit this, because Josh calls Jules red. So I just stuck with a red theme, so I did the fire because I thought that would fit it. And then Twisted Lies, Christian calls Stella Butterfly. And my King of Wrath, which is another series that Anna Huang has written, that I finished, I did a jewel because I kind of wanted to match the ring. And for my other books, I put currently reading, check back later, because I am currently reading that book. King of Greed, it's next in my reading list. And King of Sloth, the rest of these books have not come out yet. So I put the same thing for each page. Now I can also show off my third-party API. Might take a second to load. Which is a list of all of the books Anna Huang has written. Which I could show that off as well, which is in my index. Let me see where it is. Might be further down, past all my forms. Yeah, here it is. It's my case Anna Huang books, and I pulled from this API and did sort by the title and the author and put that in to my page. So some things I want to add in the future is I want to change my navigation. So I kind of want to leave, if I can, I want to put like these three under each other. I want to put all of the Twisted series under a tab that says the Twisted series. I want to do that for the King of Sin series. I kind of just want to clean up my navigation, because from here, it's kind of, I don't know, it doesn't, I like how it looks, but I want it to look better. So that's something I'd like to add in the future. So anyway, thank you for watching. This was my little introduction to Cassandra's Book Corner. Please check it out if you would like to, and use my web application if you would like. All right. Goodbye.